May or may not have been looking and not buying last night. Let's take you through some of the great moments. This was not a great moment in 2019 for Uga, who almost got trampled by Bevo, but that was a foreshadowing of the game because although they were 2-touchdown underdogs, it was Texas that came out on top with the 28-21 upset win. Then this year, it's Georgia now trying to avoid a second loss this season after already losing at Alabama the last time the Dogs lost 2 games prior to November. That was back in 2016, Kirby Smart's first year as Georgia's head coach. Meanwhile, quarterback Quinn Ewers making a second start since missing 2 games with an oblique strain after a slow start against Oklahoma last week. He threw for 1 touchdown and ran for another in a 34-3 win over the Sooners in the Red River rivalry game. Now, college football insider Heather Dinich joins us now with more. And Heather, Texas obviously still #1. They're undefeated, so a loss in this game shouldn't knock them out, although they obviously want to win. But what's at stake for this one-loss Georgia team in terms of the college football playoff?
Kelsey, I would be very, very careful of eliminating Georgia from the conversation if they have a close loss at Texas. How you win and how you lose matters to the college football playoff selection committee. But Georgia also has opportunities down the stretch to pick up wins against ranked opponents, Tennessee and Ole Miss. And oh, by the way, don't forget they could potentially have a win against the eventual ACC champion if Clemson wins the league. And that goes a long way in the committee meeting room when it comes to separating teams for those at-large bids. But they've got to look the part. And as we all know, Georgia did not exactly look like the runway model in the win against Mississippi State.
Yeah, there you go. Georgia's got to look good in this game. Currently has a 68% chance to make the playoff according to the All-State playoff predictor. We dropped to 62% with a loss to Texas. Great college football weekend coming up, maybe the best of the season. Another top 15 SEC showdown in Knoxville, Alabama, Tennessee. Heather, Paul Feinbaum said that this game is essentially a playoff elimination game. Heather, is the loser of this game out?
Where is that guy? Did he sleep through his alarm this morning, my friends? Because the answer is no, you don't eliminate any team with 2 losses or better in a 12-team playoff in mid-October. And here's why. What if Georgia does beat Texas and Alabama has a win against the eventual SEC champs? I would say Tennessee is in a more precarious position because of their schedule. And you see there on the graphic, 59th right now in strength of schedule. Part of that is because they have a win against FCS Chattanooga and an 0-6 UTEP team. University of Texas, El Paso, right? But if they do lose this game, I'd say the Vols are under tremendous pressure, not just to win out, but winning out also includes a road win at Georgia.
Feels like either one of them would be under tremendous pressure. You're making Bama fans breathe a little easier, though, after they've seen them lose to Vandy and then squeak out the win last week over South Carolina. Heather Dinich with us this morning here on SportsCenter.
Well, new head coach, same old frustrations for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Coming up, what had the quarterback saying New York gave one away last night against the Bills.
This Friday, Smile 2 will make your heart pound out of your chest.
I've been waiting for you.
Smile 2, rated R.
What does a robot know about love? How to translate that leap inside the human heart into something we can see and hold. The fingerprints we leave behind show how determined we are to give the world a piece of ourselves. Etsy.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some Rinvoq patients felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days. Some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. And many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Help heal your painful skin. Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Send those pics in. What we running with today? You already know.
Joe, Trav is about to go off tonight.
Facts. That's the play.
Run it, and I'll see y'all tonight.
We might have to run that.
I told y'all to run that. Come on now.
You said it. Come on. You said it.
Download the PrizePicks app today. Enter $5 and get $50 instantly. PrizePicks, run your game.
At the UPS Store, we offer a lot because running a small business takes a lot. That's why we're the Help Protect Your Privacy store and the Give Your Business a Real Street Address store. So while you're juggling everything else like the boss you are, we're the extra pair of hands store. You can count on us as the shredding and mailboxing, anything and everything to keep you going store. Visit the upsstore.com/save and get 3 months of free mailbox services today.
The Power of Mando is now available in a spray. This innovative low pH formula stops odor before it starts anywhere on your body. With long-lasting cologne quality scents, men are loving this deodorant. It's the touchless way to apply whole body deodorant anywhere. Only available at shopmando.com.
We can just have someone on Fiverr do it. It's no big deal.
Hiring freelancers just for small tasks is like hiring Martha Stewart as an...
Here's your coffee.
Oh, best intern ever.
Sometimes great talent is right under your nose.
What's your name again?
When the Hawks need a clean shave, they reach for the Chairman Pro by Manscaped, equipped with skin-safe technology and dual blade heads.
Wonder if my dad's ever had one of these.
Tony Hawk with the mustache. A very different commercial. We ride motorcycles now. Hawk Hogs. Shaken and stirred. Talon.
Injured?
So are we.
No.
The Chairman Pro by Manscaped.
Tomorrow night on ESPN, the WNBA Finals heads to Minnesota with the Lynx and Liberty tied at 1 game apiece. Coverage starts with WNBA Countdown at 7:30 Eastern, followed by the Liberty and Lynx at 8 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Is it getting late early for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets? Don't miss why the quarterback was saying New York gave one away against the Bills. And New York baseball dominating from coast to coast. How both the Mets and the Yankees used the long ball to spark wins in LA and the Bronx. And after Sunday's lopsided loss to the Lions, don't miss why the Super Bowl window may be closed for Dak and the Cowboys. Ryan and Kelsey still hanging with you here on SportsCenter, and our Super Bowl window is closing in October. So early. Is that really a thing? It seems a little early. We'll find out. But the World Series window, it's definitely upon us.
Yeah, New York's back in a New York mood, baseball-wise. Football, just feeling moody.
Yeah.
Can they kick it? Well, no, they can't. Leaving the Jets and their new coach and all still grounded. Aaron Rodgers, first game for the Jets under new head coach Jeff Ulbrich after Robert Saleh was fired. Rodgers called it a weird week. Rodgers doing great things in a weird week. Right there to Garrett Wilson. Down 7-3 on 3rd and goal. It was originally ruled incomplete, but look at that toe tap. That's the way you impress your new head coach. Jets up 10-7. Early second quarter. Bills 2nd and 10. Look at Josh Allen. Pressure in his face. All the way in the end zone, no problem. I'm going all the way to the sideline. Tossing it up to Ray Davis. 42 yards. Only Josh Allen can do, well, maybe Lamar Jackson, but that was pretty incredible. And then Allen right here, to Mac Hollins, touchdown. They missed the extra point, so the Bills now up 13-10. Next Bills drive, 130 seconds left in the half. Here's Allen again. What, is this dude Houdini or something?
Apparently.
Look at him. To Dawson Knox. Third touchdown of the game. Total touchdown for Allen. Bills up 20-10. 8 seconds left in the half. Aaron Rodgers, though, he's got some wizardry of his own. Watch this. Hail Mary. And Alan Lazard comes down with it. It was knocked loose, but they deem it a touchdown. Lazard said he knew he had it when he saw the ball calling his name. And Rodgers, man, 4th Hail Mary since 2008. No other player has more than 2. That's what he can do. Jets down 20-17 at the half. Third quarter, game tied at 20. Jets driving, 3rd and 1. Give it to Braylon Allen. The handoff, touchdown. No, wait a second. It's called back for a holding call. Huge miscue by the Jets, but hey, no worries. 4th and 11, Greg Zuerlein, reliable, 32 yards out.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, that could go wrong. That is not how you win Pat McAfee's money. Missed opportunity for the Jets, game tied at 20. Oh, wait, 4th and 8 in the 4th quarter. He's 43 yards out. Oh, that's got to be money. No.
What are they at?
Uprights again, twice in a row. Said he can't remember ever hitting the uprights on back-to-back kicks, but it happened.
Crazy.
Yep, game tied at 20. Here's 3rd and 16. Rodgers looking to make something happen to Mike Williams. That is intercepted. That's an amazing interception. Taron Johnson gets it. Rodgers, 4th INT in the last 2 games. Look at that.
Look at him holding on to it as he rolls. Yes.
Yep, Bills win 23-20. Rodgers' face says it all. And you know what? He wasn't thrilled after this game.
Some games you win in the NFL, and some games you give away. This was a giveaway. I mean, we're terrible in the red zone. Missed 2 field goals. Didn't convert on a 2-minute drive. We had plenty of chances. Had the momentum. Had good drives. Moved the ball up and down the field. So disappointing.
All right, Dominique Foxworth here to break this one down. Tough loss for the Jets. Look, Dominique. Todd Downing calling the plays for the first time. Nick, I look at this and I wonder, what did you see different from Aaron Rodgers last night?
Not a whole lot. Like, he still seemed uncomfortable. The offense still wasn't very productive. I think they got off to a really good start, which was encouraging. You thought it would sustain them throughout, but they still struggled in the red zone, which speaks to their, comfort with each other and comfort in the offense. And if you go back to, this Hail Mary, that's beautiful, but that's not offense. If you look at the way that they played through the course of this game, you can chalk up 1 touchdown to that Hail Mary, an early drive there, and there's a lot of missed field goals and miscues and penalties in key situations. So this team has not improved, and I'm not sure that Todd Downing is the answer on offense. Maybe over the subsequent weeks things will continue to get better, but it wasn't enough in this game, and it's getting really late early there in New York. Yeah, it sure is. Downing, of course, replacing Aaron Rodgers' good friend, coach Nathaniel Hackett, who was put aside, so Downing calling the plays now. So Rodgers and the Jets, the expectation is Super Bowl, Nick. So is the Rodgers you saw a quarterback that can lead this team to the Super Bowl? Look at your face. I mean, it's Super Bowl. I know that in the offseason, as we were talking about, and this felt like a Super Bowl or bust roster, but right now I hope they're not talking about Super Bowl in that building. They need to get back to the basics and try to establish some things that they can fall back on, some fundamental things that they believe in offensively. And even as much as we've all celebrated that defense, the defense didn't come through in the big moments when they needed them last night also. I know that they would suggest that maybe 23 points should be enough to win a game in the National Football League, but sometimes you need key plays in key situations, and they didn't have the ability to give Aaron Rodgers a short field and to keep them in the lead when they had opportunity. So I think this defense and the offense, they both are not thinking about Super Bowl right now, or at least they shouldn't be. They need to be thinking about getting a win. Yeah, and the kicking game, too, just thinking about not hitting the uprights. Yeah. By the way, 28 straight games for Rodgers with fewer than 300 passing yards. He did have 294, so he's getting close, Neek. He's getting close. Yeah, we'll give him 300 for that one.
All right, it's time for a New York edition of Kiss It Goodbye. And let's start with the NLCS Game 2, Mets-Dodgers. Francisco Lindor, first at bat of the game, and that was gone. Smacks one to right field. Becomes the 3rd player ever with a grand slam and a leadoff homer in the same postseason. That made it a 1-0 game, but we got more coming from this game. Top of the second, base is loaded for Mark Vientos. And he gets it to fly over the right center field wall for the grand slam of his own. It's a 6-0 game. He becomes the first team, since the 2016 champion Cubs to have multiple grand slams in the same postseason. They win it. How about Juan Soto? That was the bottom of the third, and he crushes that one. His first postseason home run as a Yankee, 8th overall. Yankees leading 1-0, and we're not done with kissing goodbye from this game either, because bottom of the 7th, what say you, Giancarlo Stanton? Left field, going, and that one is really gone.
He's on fire.
439 feet. Longest home run of the postseason so far. Yankees win 5-2 to take Game 1. Now, Buster Olney back with us to talk about two guys that we thought we would be featuring in Kiss It Goodbye. That's Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. We've been talking about him all season long, but Judge was held hitless again last night, Buster. 2 for 15 this postseason. They keep winning even though he's not doing well at the plate. Can they keep winning if this continues for him?
Kelsey, I think there's a breakout coming from Aaron Judge. There were great signs in some of his plate appearances last night, beyond the fact that he drew a walk, a 3-0 pitch, and he gets the ball in the air for a sacrifice fly, a line drive to right field. And you mentioned the fact that the Yankees are winning despite the fact that Judge really hasn't pitched in yet. If you know Aaron Judge, I do think he takes the responsibility of being the leader of that team very seriously. So the fact they're winning without him, I think is going to ease some pressure off him. And I do think because Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton playing well, Judge is going to start hitting soon.
Yeah, you should feel like you don't have to get it done because they are. Meanwhile, he got it done during the regular season, 58 home runs, but has gone 33 postseason at-bats without going yard. Game 2 coverage tonight at 7 o'clock. Let's also talk about Shohei Ohtani because he transitioned to the leadoff spot. That was back in June. He's now 6 for 8 with runners on base in this postseason, but 0 for 19 when the bases are empty. So what can he do to get going early in this game?
Well, he needs to fare better against outside pitches because that is how opponents are attacking him. Sean Manaea yesterday kept going at him with that crossfire delivery that he has away, and Ohtani did not look good against it. Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, acknowledges much after the game. Now, as they move forward, naturally after Ohtani has a game like that, and you cited the statistics and how he's been doing with no runners on base, Dave Roberts was asked whether or not he would think about moving Ohtani out of the leadoff spot. He said, no, he's our best hitter. I want to get him up the plate as much as possible. Inevitably, Ohtani's going to hit. That's just how great he is.
I mean, even if he doesn't do it the first time, it still continues to pay off for him. That series is even though 1-1 right now. Game 3 coming your way tonight. Buster, thanks.
To the NBA, Paul George hyperextended his left knee in the second quarter of Monday's preseason game against Atlanta. You see it right there. George quickly left the game, did not return, but later said, if you ask me, I'm not too concerned about it. Now, Philly, they should be a little concerned. They already got Joel Embiid sitting out the preseason. According to GM Daryl Morey, both players aren't going to play many back-to-backs, if any, this season. But back to George, his injury history is extensive. These are just the 5 that kept him out the longest. Other than that fractured leg in his 5th season in Indiana, most of his major injuries have been with the Clippers. George missed a third of all possible games he could have played in for LA, 127 games.
All right, coming up on SportsCenter, don't miss why a Hall of Famer says he could see things totally unraveling for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Plus, has the Super Bowl window, heck, even the playoff window closed for Dak and the Cowboys. That's ahead. Also, Garrett Wilson. He turns heads with that touchdown catch last night. And Ryan, we've got why this play wasn't even close to the best play from the Jets-Bills game. There were so many good ones.
That play's crazy good today.
The future is threatened by enemies often unpredictable. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Big Mac, Chicken Big Mac, Big Mac, Chicken Big Mac, Big Mac, Chicken Big Mac. The Chicken Big Mac. It's not a Big Mac. Get it while you can. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
wake up in the morning light. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yo.
We all bring something different to the table. Ben's Original. We're all original recipes.
How many subscriptions do you have?
Probably just Netflix and Spotify.
All right, it's saying you have 13 subscriptions, which is costing you around $270 a month.
What?
You can cancel the ones you don't want right through the app, and it can even help you try and get a refund.
After Homoglow cleaned our place for $19, we fired our old housekeeper. Homoglow tackled everything, from our kitchen to our bathroom, all our laundry. You just pick a date, pick a cleaner, and enjoy a spotless house for $19.
Tough Men gives you healthier, smoother feeling skin to celebrate life's intense moments. Use Tough Men Body Wash with its 24-hour nourishing micro-moisture. Enjoy healthier, smoother feeling skin all day with Tough Men Body Wash.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big Smasher Burger. Or you could settle for a drive-thru. Plus, get fries, a drink, and bottomless chips and salsa for just $10.99. See you later, tiny drive-thru burger. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Meet the new Target Circle 360. With unlimited same-day delivery, so you can get what you need when you need it. Better in every way. That's the new Target Circle 360.
At Verizon, every phone can be the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Wow, phones are going to be flying to Verizon.
Switch to Verizon and get the new iPhone 16 Pro and get a new iPad and Apple One all on us. Only on Verizon.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big step.
Every generation has guys like this.
He's unstoppable. This building is shaking. With the big dogs.
This time is different. NBA opening week next Wednesday and continues Friday on ESPN.
Life with ear ringing sounded like a constant train whistle I couldn't escape. Then I started taking lipoflavonoid. With 60 years of clinical experience, it's the #1 doctor-recommended brand for ear ringing, and now I'm finally free. Take back control with lipoflavonoid.
When you step into a Warby Parker store, you're immediately met by, well, glasses. But there's more than meets the eye, like contact lenses, top-notch eye exams, expert opticians, and affordable prices. Visit one of our hundreds of stores around the country.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, comedy, or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows. What time is it? It's game time.
Here's your coffee.
Oh, best intern ever.
Oh, nice. You use Fiverr. Working on anything big?
Oh, yeah. Growth strategy.
Maybe I can help.
Yes. Can I get some oat milk?
Sometimes great talent is right under your nose.
Okay, another Hail Mary from Aaron Rodgers or a game-sealing interception for the Bills. Which play was better? We're going to debate when we bring you the top plays from Week 6 straight ahead. Week 6, Week 8.
Well, one of those plays had them flying high, but this Jets team definitely still grounded. And late game execution was a problem again. It has been a problem, including Week 4. New York failed to score on its final 3 drives against the Broncos, capped off by that missed potential game-winning 50-yard field goal from Greg Zuerlein. The 10-9 loss handed Aaron Rodgers another one and showing his first frustration. Then they go to London. Can things get better there? Well, 3 interceptions from Aaron Rodgers, not good, including that one to Stephon Gilmore. Final minute, it was the game that was the final one for Robert Saleh as Jets head coach. And then last night, new head coach, Rodgers once again has the ball late with the chance to take the lead. But That spectacular interception that you saw is coming up on Top Plays. It helped seal a 23-20 Bills win. Here's Hall of Famer Troy Aikman postgame with some strong comments on what's next for the Jets.
You know, I don't know where they go from here, quite honestly. To lose the game the way they did with the penalties and the missed field goals and not capitalizing in the red zone and all those things, I just think it's going to be really hard on them. Short week now. I could see this totally unraveling. Maybe that won't happen. I know the players won't agree with that, but I could see it happening because they didn't get it done. And so they're right back where they were, and now what's the answer for them? They don't have it.
All right, Jeff Saturday back with us on SportsCenter. He said he could see it totally unraveling. So, Jeff, give me your thoughts. Where do the Jets go from here?
Yeah, dark room for some self-reflection. Isn't that what we do? I mean, we got to figure something out because we can point fingers to everybody else, but, you know, let's start pointing back at ourselves if we're some players for the New York Jets. Way too many mistakes, and Troy Aikman said it best. Too many opportunities for success that they failed on, whether it's missed field goals, whether it's an interception late in the game that we've seen now a couple weeks back-to-back, whether it's giving up pressure and sacks, whether it's not converting red zone opportunities. All of the issues. How many times can we point the finger at somebody? At some point, it's about the player. So we fired Saleh, who people said was the most least important person, whatever nonsense that is. It doesn't seem like it mattered, right? You had all the energy, all the excitement, still don't find a way. I'm with Troy on this. They need some self-reflection, figure this thing out.
How long does it take for the darkness retreat to work? Because they don't have much time. We'll see. Meanwhile, as for the Bills, have they seen the light? Josh Allen continued his impressive start of the season. 2 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, 0 interceptions. How far can he lead this team?
Oh, this is tough for me because this is a team I thought was going to take a step back, and they have outperformed my expectations. It really, minus a couple poor decisions late in the game against the Texans, Josh Allen has put this team on his back and is just making it happen. They have a backup running back who runs for $150 yesterday against a defense that we all thought was going to be good for the Jets. They have just continued to find ways. When I look at Josh Allen, tip of the cap to him. He is finding ways with receivers that are less than what he's had in the past. I think they're probably the 4th best team in the AFC. So to even be up in that mix to win their division, if they win the division, they have done something this season because their roster doesn't support as well as they're playing.
And putting the team on his back all while not throwing an interception all season, longest stretch of his career. Jeff, stand by. More coming with Ryan.
Hey, Kelsey, the Jets are done. I'm overreacting.
Oh.
But that's what we do on Overreaction Tuesday.
It is.
Yeah, but how about this? Are the Cowboys' Super Bowl hopes done? Check it out. They're 3-3. They were destroyed at home, 47-9 by the Lions on Sunday. Worst home loss since 1998 on O.
Yikes.
Dak, 2 INTs, QBR of 11. On
That's
D,
bad.
giving up nearly 500 yards,
That's
184 on the ground. Once feared at home, they've trailed by at least 20 in their last 4 games there. And on Get Up yesterday, Dan Orlovsky had some choice words about their Super Bowl window.
The window's over. The window is gone. This team and this organization is so far away from the team and an organization that won 12 games 3 years in a row. The Detroit Lions are who you want to be. The Detroit Lions are who you used to be. The window is closed for the Dallas Cowboys.
Ouch. Time now for Overreactions with Dan Graziano and Jeff Saturday. All right, guys, let's start with those Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys Super Bowl window is closed. Dan, is this an overreaction or not an overreaction?
It's an overreaction. Look, easy game to overreact to because it was ugly. And obviously you're not thinking about the Cowboys in the Super Bowl this year if you watched that game. But in terms of a window, they just signed their quarterback to a long-term extension. They just signed their superstar young receiver to a long-term extension. You know, the Cowboys will continue to draft well and field competitive teams. This year's roster is short, and they couldn't afford the injuries they had in terms of their depth. I don't think it looks good for this year, but I think as long as Dak Prescott is there and they have him to build around, then there will be a window.
Yeah, not an overreaction to me for this iteration of the Cowboys. So I kind of agree with Dan a little bit, but let me say this. As far as this whole drafting well principle, you have to add. It can't just be about the draft. This team failed because of what they didn't do last year before the trade window and even in the offseason. They should have signed to Derrick Henry, a guy who doesn't need blockers the same way. There were a lot of things they could have done to help this team. If Jerry and Stephen Jones don't change their pattern of behavior, it's not going to get any better. No matter how good your quarterback and best wide receiver are, they're getting gutted up the field on defense. They got to figure some of those things out. So it's not an overreaction. Minus the signing of the quarterback, I understand that, but they got to do some other things in the offseason.
Yeah, and arguably, had they signed the quarterback and the wide receiver a little bit early, maybe they had some of that money to pay Derrick Henry, but that's in the past. Here we are now. And by the way, speaking of here we are now, guys, all 4 NFC North teams, the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears, the Packers, they're 4-2 or better. They currently have the 4 best point differentials in the NFL. It's amazing. All 4 will reach the playoffs this season. Dan, overreaction or not?
I still say it's an overreaction. As much as I would like this to happen some year, one division put all 4 teams in. The problem with this is there's only been one intra-division game so far, and it was the Vikings and Packers at Lambeau Field a couple weeks ago. At some point, these teams are all going to start playing each other, and once that happens, somebody's going to start losing games. So I think, it's hard to just do the math and imagine a situation in which they all get in, but they all look good. I think each one, if you look at each of the 4 of them in a vacuum, that you would say they're good enough to get in. But I think once they start beating each other up, we need to look at the landscape and see who survives that and who does not.
Overreaction for me as well, and Dan said it exactly right. It's just once they start playing each other, it's everybody's beating each other up. Teams are buying losses. It's all those kinds of things. It would be fantastic, especially for Bears fans, because if there's one that I think is going to get left out, it's going to be the Bears, in my opinion. I think the Packers are way underrated. This is a very good football team. We already know about the Lions and what they can do, and the Vikings being undefeated. So, but the Bears got a lot to be happy about. I'm just not sure all 4 can get in. There's going to be another division that can sneak somebody in there.
Wow, look at how they stack up against the rest of the NFC. Guys, look, I did the math. I want to weigh in on this. It's an overreaction. I did the math. They win out, and they all tie each other. It could happen. It could happen.
Respect.
Now, finally, give us one story from Week 6 that we are underreacting to, Dan.
Look, they beat the Patriots, so that's easy to dismiss it. But the Houston Texans are a legitimate Super Bowl contender in the AFC. I mean, they're a team that has weathered the absence of their starting running back, Joe Mixon, who obviously made a major impact on the offense when he came back from injury this week. Their defense is going to get better. Danico Autry has been on suspension. He's eligible to play this week. Their schedule has been light. There's no question about that. But I think this is a team that has sort of figured out in the early part of the season how it wants to play. Down their leading receiver, Nico Collins, but this is it with Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, a team that is uniquely suited, to weather that absence. Houston is legit.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans has done a heck of a job. I'm not sure I'm putting them in that Super Bowl conversation quite yet. When they looked very, very average against the Vikings, who I know have played lights out and lit it up. This weekend, to me, against the Packers is going to show a lot of who they are. They beat the Bills at home, but again, the Bills helped them quite a bit with those last 3 play calls backed up to give them an opportunity. This team is on the cusp for me. They're definitely a playoff team, but when I look at Super Bowl and what's going to get them, they're still the 3rd best team, in my opinion, in the AFC. But one we should be tipping our cap to D'Amico Ryans. I'm just not sure they're quite in that conversation.
And just to clarify, Jeff, 3rd best behind who?
I would put the Chiefs and the Ravens before them.
All right. We'll see if they can get up on that level of the Chiefs and the Ravens. Guys, thanks. Go check out the full column of reactions or not on ESPN+.
Let's go top plays from around the NFL Week 6 now. Number 10, Lions, Cowboys. We were just talking about the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb snags the ball out of the air for the one-handed catch. If he can do more of that, maybe that window's not closing for the playoffs and for the Super Bowl. Pretty nice.
Or Dallas can do more than just those 2. All right, number 9, Chargers, Broncos, Justin Herbert. Watch Simi Fehoko. Got that one with a dude all over him. Look at this. I'm going to catch it on his neck and shoulder. Wow.
How about number 8, Steelers, Raiders? Keep your eye on Najee Harris. Receives the pitch. Yes, this is a top play just for bulldozing through people, but watch where he dives for the end zone.
Oh,
from the 5-yard line. Woo. Lays out, guy pushing him, still gets his arm inside the pylon, gets the ball inside for the touchdown.
All right, number 7. Oh, this play, Aaron Rodgers scrambling to Garrett Wilson. Touchdown. And I said it earlier, look at those toes. Look at that body control. The things that normal people can't do belong in top plays, and that's one of them.
That was such a good one. How about number 6, Texans, Patriots? Drake May trying to see what he can do, but that is Eric Murray. Comes down with the interception. It's an interesting run, right? The player right all over him. Looked like a defender, but that was a wide receiver.
Number 5, Lions, Cowboys. Lions running a flea flicker.
Okay.
And then Jared Goff finds Sam Laporta for the touchdown. Detroit, Dan Campbell, I'm going to tell you this right now. You do these plays, you will make top 10, I promise.
How about number 4, Browns, Eagles? Yeah, no, we know because you're picking them, right? That was Myles Garrett that was spot shotted. He's not the one that picks up the ball. Obviously impressive for Rodney McLeod Jr. to come back and run it back for a touchdown. But take another look at Myles Garrett.
Oh, my gosh.
Through the middle, up the gap, hops over, and makes the play.
The leap over, it's like both legs over that dude. Hey, this wasn't even in the overnight show's top 10. I can't even believe that. Cortland Sutton with one hand, getting his feet in. I saw this
Give me that.
live, and I was like, is that a touchdown? Sure was.
All right, moment of truth. Number 2, Bills, Jets. What do we have? No time on the clock, running out. Hail Mary for Aaron Rodgers. Throw it up. What can you do? Alan Lazard comes down with it. Impressive stuff. I have some thoughts on Hail Marys, though, and it was good, but we thought this was better.
I thought this was better. Bills, Jets, Aaron Rodgers, looking for Mike Williams. Taron Johnson with the INT. Now, you look at that closer like it's an INT. Look at this. Pulls it in, flips over on his head. Mike Williams all over him. No problem. I'm holding on to it. That's spectacular.
I thought it was about to be a top play for Williams, but then it was an interception, which made it even more of a top play.
Yeah.
I said I have some thoughts on Hail Marys. They're impressive.
Yeah.
They should be in the top 10, no doubt.
Yeah.
Is it skill or is it luck or a combination of a little bit of both when that happens? For me, yes, it takes skill, and we just had the stat earlier about Aaron Rodgers for the most since, I think, 2006 for Hail Marys. But a lot of things have to go right for it to happen, including a lot of luck for me, Ryan.
And, like, not only that, he's throwing it. Now, I love Hail Marys. I love this pass by Aaron Rodgers. It's in a quadruple coverage. I mean, come on. And, like, it's great that Alan Lazard did what he did. It's impressive, but can lucky plays be number 1? Not when dudes are doing interceptions on the top of their heads, falling over with a receiver all over him.
And barely keeping it off the ground the whole time as you're doing a forward roll somersault. I thought we got it right with the top plays today, but let's bring in Greeny and see what he thought, because he probably would have liked it if we had a better one for him when the Jets at number 1.
It involved the Jets, Greeny. Was that okay?
No, not okay. It was a terrible night all the way around. But I will say this, as you were discussing your question about whether it's luck or skill, Dan Graziano, who was seated about 2 feet to my right, said that Aaron Rodgers told him that they used to practice that Rodgers, when he was Brett Favre's backup, spent a lot of time practicing the Hail Mary, and thus I assume you're telling me that he said that it is skill, not luck.
He tried different ways of making the throw, because that's what he says. It's Aaron, so, you know, whatever.
So, yes, as a general rule, Aaron Rodgers is not going to tell you that he himself was merely lucky at something he has done very well. One way or another, whether those were the top 10 plays or not is extremely low on my list of concerns at this point. I have any number of other things that I'm worried about. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. I will take it from here because I have a lot of yelling that I need to do. Let's roll it. It's time to get up with a Monday Night Meltdown. We'll tell you exactly why Buffalo shuffled off with a win that might have grounded the Jets for good. Meanwhile, does the D in Big D stand for done? Wait till you hear what's about to happen to the Cowboys. Spoiler alert, it's not good. Plus, Sirianni says sorry. You'll hear how the most important voice in Philadelphia sports responded as we get up with you starting right now. Stop. There will be no joy, no clapping, there will be no happiness. No, I decree it. There shall be none of that, because it was not a good game.
It was a close one, right down to the wire. What more do you want?
By the way, I'm inviting the officiating crew to my house for Thanksgiving. I saw them so much last night on both
here
sides.
we go.
I feel like we're all good friends
Were
now.
you and Aaron texting about the refs? Was that happening?
No, he told me to lose his number. Roll the highlight. Here we go. Jets and Bills on a Monday night in a very windy night in New Jersey. The Jets' new brain trust there, Todd Downing and Jeff Ulbrich. Pick it up 2 minutes to go. Jets down 7-3, 3rd and goal. How about this play? Neat.
Oh, a little time machine, Aaron Rodgers. Buy some time with your legs, flip your hips, and deliver a perfect shot in the back of the end zone. Great body control, Garrett Wilson.
They originally call Wilson out of bounds. They review it. They look it over. They give the touchdown 10-7. He's got that dance. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10 Bills deep in their own territory. Jeff, how does he do this?
Look at this. Getting himself. How many times have we seen it this season? Running to his right, throwing back to his left, and drops a dime. Unbelievable.
Alien throw.
It really
no
is.
human can make that
On
throw.
the Manning cast, Peyton was yelling, throw it away. Instead, it leads to this. Touchdown, Mac Hollins, who's fired up. Bills, extra point, no good. They're up 13-10. Then, Neek, how does he do this?
Another alien play. Being a Bills fan must be so damn fun. Just watching Josh Allen, the play breaks down, and that's when you get excited.
Another athletic play. Bills 20-10. Then that leads to this. Here we go at the end of the half. Graziano, you said these Hail Marys, he used to practice them?
When he was Brett Favre's backup, because this is a drill for the defense, so they put the backup quarterback in to make the throw. So Aaron says he worked at these, and now he's done it, 4 times in real games?
4 Hail Marys in his career. No other player has more than
Lazard didn't have anything to do with that. That was just a great throw all the way around. Yeah. There we go. Good call, Graz.
I'm just telling you what Aaron said.
Yeah.
When has he ever lied to us?
Graz, of course, is such an Aaron Rodgers fan. Jets go into the half down 3. Then Braylon Allen, touchdown. But wait, it's called back. Jeff, is this a good holding call on Tyron Smith?
Actually, it is a good call.
Oh, nice job. That little honesty.
You can't listen when the guy rips. You have to let him go. It's unfortunate. Not everybody. Aaron's not the only one who's getting a little older on the Jets.
2 plays later, Greg Zuerlein, we're not showing it to you because he made it.
Doink.
He did his best to knock over the goalpost last night.
You said early it was windy. It was windy.
And it was certainly windy. Here he comes again.
Try it again.
Yep.
See if he can knock him down. Look how hard.
That's a terrible sound.
Jets fail to take the lead. Bills get the ball back.
No, I thought it was my fault. Thanks.
2nd and 7. It's Allen. It's Dalton Kincaid, and they are matriculated.
Yeah, quick decision by Allen right there. He makes an easy pass to convert. That was a nice play. It wasn't even magical.
2 plays later, 2nd and 7. That's Keon Coleman.
Nasty. That was what you call ripping it.
That leads to a field goal, so it's 23-20 Buffalo. For the 3rd consecutive week, Aaron Rodgers has the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win. And for the 3rd consecutive week, they don't. Mike Williams manages to get hurt on that play because, of course, he does. Falls down. It's intercepted. I'm just saying, if things couldn't possibly get worse, I don't know how they do. Bills win a thriller, 23-20. Everyone involved with the Jets looks kind of the way Aaron did there. Mr. Rodgers, let's talk.
This was a golden opportunity. Some games you win in the NFL, and some games you give away. This was a giveaway. I mean, we're terrible in the red zone. Missed 2 field goals. Didn't convert on a 2-minute drive. We had plenty of chances. Should have been a 30-plus point game on offense, and this shouldn't even be a conversation.
So, obviously, we got time to talk about this. If you're interested, put your feet up. We're not going anywhere for a little while. I'll give you my big picture, my 35,000-foot thoughts, and then we'll just dive into it. It's an ironic statement about a team called the Jets. They do all the things that winning teams don't do. Like, they don't get blown out of these games. It's hard to sit here and yell and scream. They've lost 3 consecutive games by a combined total of 10 points. They just do all the little things that winning teams don't do. They drop a pass. They have a miscommunication. They miss a field goal. The quarterback, unfortunately, late in these games, whether it is miscommunication or whether it is coming off the injury or whether it is that he's just getting older, he just doesn't seem to have, or at least has not had, the magic that we had seen from him in his career. The Jets, the teams that... What I'm trying to say is that the Jets aren't a terrible team. They're just one of the average teams in the NFL. And those teams, the ball bounces the wrong way on you sometimes. It has bounced the wrong way on them 3 consecutive times now. And unfortunately, it probably has buried them at this point. People are going to talk a lot about the easy schedule they have coming up. We'll see. That feels like a long way off right now. They put absolutely everything into this game. You fire the coach.
That's right.
You're basically you're saying, okay, this is the one where it's all going to turn around. And then you still have the same penalties, the same mistakes, the same issues you keep losing for all the same reasons you've been losing. I don't know exactly where you go from there.
I'll put a little bit of a happy spin on this for you. They had 8 explosive plays of their 59 plays last night. That's 13%. That's the highest of any team in all of football this year. The fact that they then got into the red zone and couldn't convert on touchdowns, that's another issue. But there's something positive to build on, something to be encouraged by. The fact that Aaron Rodgers gets the ball, that's the thing that's discouraging to me. I think for the Jets is the whole premise behind bringing Aaron Rodgers is, guess what? When we're down with 1 score and 1 minute left in the game, we got Aaron Rodgers. 3 weeks in a row, they've been down with Aaron Rodgers with the ball, and each of those weeks have ended in a way that looks similar to if Zach was still back there.
This is the problem with trying to put it all together on the fly, right? Like, you can't import culture. Look at the Buffalo Bills, right? They built it from scratch. They got the quarterback. They built the team around him. They have an identity. They know who they are, and they learned how to win together. They went through the tough time together. The Jets haven't done that, right? You have a quarterback that just came in. You have, all these guys they added in the offseason that are playing together for the first time. They just fired the coach. I don't know how you can sort of have organization-wide trust. What are you going to fall back on when things don't go well? The Jets have not established that for themselves, and I think that makes the difference in these close.
I'm going to have to humbly disagree. You can import culture because Tampa did, and they imported culture, and it won with Tom Brady. And that was what the Jets fans were expecting when they brought Aaron Rodgers in. Because you remember when Tom got there with BA, there was some issue. They had some battles early. It wasn't like they just started out that gate just ripping and roaring. The issue is they fired their head coach 5 weeks into the season because they panicked, as opposed to letting this thing play out and continue to develop.
Stable organization in Tampa that knows what it's doing, right? That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think that was the expectation of Jets fans, was that it was going to be a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning-like, entrance into this team, and it has not shown that way. And to your point, when you say, our defense is going to be good enough, how many times do people say, as long as the defense is just average, Aaron Rodgers, we're going to win a bunch of games? I'm sure I said it. I'm sure there's a lot of people who said, hey, as long as the defense is just average, well, giving up 23 points is pretty decent, right? Did they shut the Bills down? They didn't. Are they all world? No. But when you give the Hall of Fame quarterback 3 different opportunities, 3 different weeks in a row to go win and close it out, and he doesn't, and everything's about the referees. Was it not windy for Josh Allen? Because maybe the wind stopped. I'm not sure. But were the same? They had 11 penalties as well. They had a lot of the same stuff going on. They found a way to win, and the Jets don't find a way to win.
Allen's throws are impervious to wind.
That's right.
He goes right through the wind. He does not care. But look, first of all, the Tom Brady stuff, forever and ever and ever, if everybody's expecting literally anyone else to be Tom Brady, they're always going to be disappointed.
For sure.
He is the outlier of all outliers in NFL history. So let's look at what the Jets are. You're supposed to have an elite championship caliber defense. Well, a rookie backup running back just went for 150 yards on you on Monday Night Football. What are you doing?
Right.
They could not stop Ray Davis in the first half. And salute to Ray Davis, great game. But, you've got to be able to do that. The Bills are banged up. They were outmanned.
Yeah.
You should win that game at home, and the Jets didn't do it because they don't have what the Bills have, which is cohesion and identity. You can't. If your identity is, hey, we have Aaron Rodgers now, that's not really anything to build on.
Agreed.
When you haven't made the playoffs in 14 years, you'll try and find anything you can. That's why I said last week, these problems existed long before Aaron Rodgers got there, and they're going to continue long after he's gone.
That's exactly what I'm saying, though. The Bills went 17 years without making the playoffs. Right? The team got
then
sold.
What happened?
The team got sold, and they hired a coach in Sean McDermott and a GM in Brandon Beane who had a plan for what they wanted to do, and they were patient with it, and they built it together. We're seeing it happen in Detroit. Right. There are places where you see this done well. What the Jets are trying to do was always a high-wire act, and I don't think it was.
I guess it was always a bit more risky to try to import all of this culture like you're saying, but we can't sit up here and pretend like we thought it was a bad idea.
No.
Now it looks ridiculous, but we all seem to think it was a good idea.
We thought it might not work.
Yeah, we thought it might not work, but I think we believed it'd be better than it is now. The thing about the defense that we keep talking about, and they are a good defense, but they aren't the great defense that I think we thought they were. Because it's different when you set up Zach Wilson to win and he doesn't win, and then we can all look at the defense and say, well, you did everything you could do, but the defense needs to do a little bit more also. I understand that 23 points is not a lot, or is a good outing for the defense, but there were several times in that game where I was like, all right, you're this Jets defense. Right. Get a damn stop right now. And when they needed those stops, they weren't getting them.
You know what we can say of the Jets defense? They're not nearly as good as they think they are. That's the truth. The Jets defense is merely good. It's not great.
Right.
It's good.
They didn't start good, but they finished well. Listen, they gave up 3 points in the second half. If you are the Jets offense, you cannot. There is ebbs and flows in the NFL. They didn't start great. I agree. He ran for I think almost 100 yards in the first half. So he's running through them. But at some point, you hold the team down to 3 points. By the way, in the last 6 minutes of the game, they get the 3 points. So they held them. They gave the Jets offense every opportunity. But again, missed field goals, penalties, bad decisions. There's a litany of excuses to be made, but the reality is they get in their own ways. And to put this at the foot of the defense, again, this was like putting it at the feet of Salah. It's pointing blame in the wrong places. At the end of the day, and this is going to be the worst part. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoff. They're going to get somewhere close. Everybody in the AFC is going to be 500, right? There's going to be a couple outliers, but there's not a lot of teams running away with it. Even this Bills team isn't a great team, y'all. God love them. They're playing better than I think they should, but this is not the Jets should not get run away from because they're going to win a few, lose a few. It's going to be kind of an ugly, but that's the problem. The expectations were Super Bowl or bust. They ain't a Super Bowl team.
Here's what I'll say of the Bills. This is the worst the Bills are going to be for a long time. That's the other. You're catching them. When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, you're going to have this, then a little of this. You got to reset the captain, this, then a little bit. They're in the little bit of this phase, right? This is when they had to get rid of all those players on defense, and Stephon Diggs left, and for whatever reason he left. This is the worst Buffalo is going to be for the foreseeable future. They'll get really, really good again. There's a whole other conversation to be had about that, where they had that window there and they didn't get the Bills, they didn't win a championship. And they're going to be way better than this. That's the point. It was sitting right there for the Jets with Rodgers. And Cindy, let's put A42 up on the screen if we can here, because this, look, I can present it almost without comment. Last year, the Jets through 6 games had a better record. They had scored exactly the same number of points. You see the turnover differential. The schedule this year has not been brutal. People talk about how tough it was at the start. Well, the reality of it is Denver's not a great team. Minnesota's not a great team. Buffalo's not a great team. They've just lost those 3 games in a row. And if it sounded at the beginning,
Minnesota's 5-0.
Excuse me, Minnesota is a great team. Sorry, who's the other team? Tennessee is the game that they won. Right. Not a great team. So if it sounded at the beginning like I was making excuses, that's the opposite of what I want to do. This wasn't about the officiating, even though I thought the officiating, it didn't decide the game. It just made it no fun to watch at all from both sides. They just decided last night, we're going to call everything a penalty, because obviously that's what people watching Monday Night Football want. So they just made the game less fun. But they didn't decide the game. The win didn't decide the game for one side any more than the other, or it shouldn't have. The Jets lost the game because they do all the things losing teams do.
That's right.
And that is what, when you bring the great quarterback in, that, Dan, is the thing you think is going to get cleaned up.
Yes.
The attention to detail, all that stuff that Peyton Manning brought with him to Denver, and that Tom Brady brought with him to Tampa, and that to this point, Aaron Rodgers has not brought with him to the Jets.
Tom Brady got to Tampa. He broke NFL rules and possibly local laws by gathering during a pandemic to get on the same page with his receivers.
On a high school field.
Aaron Rodgers went to Egypt during mandatory minicamp.
Yeah,
who among us has not done that?
I think that does do it. I think it's unfair to pretend like that's the only issue, but I think that does exemplify a personality that permeates the team. And so when you're in a leadership position, and that's head coach and quarterback, no one else has as much influence on the culture as that guy. And if for whatever reason it doesn't seem as important to him as other players feel like it should be, when you do have issues with timing and issues with penalties, it's going to look like, hey, maybe you should have practiced a little bit more.
Drops.
Or maybe, drops. Or maybe you should have paid more attention to the things that are small and you think don't matter. That's something that maybe he doesn't need, but he needs to set that example for the team.
Let's play Troy Aikman, because this is the thing that if you're a fan of the Jets, this is the the thing that you were most worried about is that Troy Aikman is right when he forecasts this for the near future.
I could see this totally unraveling. Maybe that won't happen. I know the players won't agree with that, but I could see it happening because I think they put so much into this week to winning a game and getting back on track. And the owner says this is the best team he's had in 25 years, all those things. But they didn't get it done. And so they're right back where they were. And now what's the answer for them? They don't have it.
I fear he's right.
The Jets need to go into a dark room and self-reflection. They need to find it. Find their inner whatever.
Did you mean that purposely because of Aaron and his dark rooms?
Yeah. But let's find something because it needs self-reflection because these are player issues, not just coaching issues. This was my problem with the whole Robert Saleh firing. And whether you like it or dislike it, whatever it looks, these are player issues. The drops are player issues. The penalties are player issues. The missed field goals are player issues. These aren't just laid at the feet of a coach. And so at some point, responsibility and accountability has got to go to the 53 in that locker room. And so far, we have not seen that.
How do you respond is the big question. And I think we've pointed out that they're in a conference that no one's running away with it, and they still have a good chance of making the playoffs. So this may serve to be, you would think that they don't need a wake-up call because they've already had multiple wake-up calls up until this point. And firing Robert Saleh, I think, was the final, like, everyone, pay attention. Your jobs are all on the line. Our window is closing. And then that's why you hear Troy say what he said, because that felt like the game where everyone's supposed to show up and be a new version of themselves.
That's right. To be very clear that I'm not trying to make a legitimate analogy here, but once you have tried the nuclear option and it didn't work, where do you go from there? Yeah. You've already made the biggest move you can possibly make. So I don't think it gets any better from here. We'll see. We'll have much more on that game, on the Bills side of it, on the NFL and everything else as we go. But let's go LCSing, shall we? Juan Soto and the Yankees hosting the Guardians last night. Taylor Swift in the building last night, and Juan Soto says, I don't know about you, I'm wearing 22. That is the reference that only Hannah in the room seems to have gotten. I bet that's uniform number.
Everybody got it.
I didn't get it. Is it Taylor a song?
It's a Taylor Swift song. It's a very good Taylor Swift song. Yankees up 1-0. Meanwhile, maybe you'll get this one.
Okay.
Giancarlo says we are never, ever getting back together. He hits that ball about as far as you can hit a ball.
Shake it off. That's about it. I know shake it off.
He's hit now 2 home runs in the last 3 games. Well, Luke Weaver is now facing Austin Hedges, and he shakes off a call or 2.
Ooh, well done.
And then throws a strikeout to end the game. Yanks take it 5-2. They take a 1-0 series lead. That's the ALCS. Earlier in the day in Los Angeles, the NLCS. Mets at Dodgers. Dodgers had gone 33 innings since giving up a run. And then Francisco Lindor led off the game by doing that, Dan Graziano.
Yeah, that's enough of that. There will not be a 34th scoreless inning in a row.
Graziano speaking on behalf of Met fans everywhere. Top of 2 now. Mets up 2-0. Second and third. They intentionally walk Lindor to pitch to Mark Vientos.
Smart.
In the
not so smart. Oh, no. Maybe it was an error on the part of the Dodgers.
Vientos, to quote the great Michael Jordan, said, I took that personal. He hits a grand slam at 6-0. Bottom 6 now, bases loaded for the Dodgers. They've made it a 3-run game. But the Mets, sometimes the magic is just on your side. Double play gets him out of the jam. And then Graziano, Edwin Diaz, always a roller coaster in the ninth.
I don't know why he insists on walking the first 2 guys in the ninth every day. It's like Inigo Montoya fighting left-handed. You know, like he has to make it harder on himself for some reason. I don't get it.
Like all good roller coasters, though, it always ends safely. The Mets win it 7-3. They even up that series at 1 game apiece. So both New York baseball teams are 3 wins away from the World Series. We've seen 1 Subway Series back in 2000. At ESPN Bet, they give the odds of it happening this year to be plus 196, which means about a 1 in 3 chance. The game 2 of the ALCS tonight, Garrett Cole pitching for the Yankees as they try to get there. Coming up, Sirianni says he's sorry. But we're all laughing at him anyway, so we will explain that. Plus, the Cowboys are in crisis. Is Dallas done? You just have to hear what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this. I promise it is well worth it. Stay with us. Get up on ESPN.
I IHOP.
Weekdays are the new weekends with IHOP's House Faves menu. Only $6 Monday through Friday.
Pause for the facts. Classic first-timers. They don't know that nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident. But Carfax shows how accidents impact price, so they don't have to overpay. Unpause.
Oh, I love no accidents.
Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
Skating is my life, and falling is a part of skating. There's a story behind every mark. Movement leaves marks. Your antiperspirant shouldn't.
Degree Ultra Clear. Non-stop protection against white marks.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like men over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T.
Nugenix Total T is the unique man-boosting formula powered by Tesnor, a key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels. To help you feel stronger, leaner, with more muscle and drive. Nugenix is #1 doctor recommended, #1 at GNC, and #1 at Walmart. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting PEN to 242424.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text PEN to 42424. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever. Absolutely free.
Introducing Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of whole body deodorant, like Mando. Mando controls odor for 72 hours, and before you say it, Mando works better than a shower with soap alone. Rather than covering up BO with heavy fragrance, Mando's unique formula stops odor before it starts by lowering the pH of your skin. That's my secret to better odor control everywhere. Mando's unlike anything you've ever tried before. Get over 30% off at shopmando.com.
Open your eyes. You deserve better from your phone service. At Total Wireless, we're fixing that. No more hidden fees. No more surprises on your bill. You deserve to get it all, and that's exactly what we'll give you. Find your local store at TotalWireless.com.
To truly embrace the fine life, you must learn to let go. Bienvenidos a la vida más fina.
Oh, that reminds me. You coming to my after party? Wouldn't miss it. Want me to bring limes? Oh, that'd be so helpful, Steven.
Cuervo tradicional cristalino, smooth as an edge.
Big boss, man.
This is Belichick.
Talk to me. Double B.
Tyrese.
What's good with these wideouts?
He's going to get in the end zone, no doubt about that.
My man.
William, answer the phone.
Billy B, my man.
Cam.
How's QB1 looking?
It's looking more like QB3.
Bryson, again?
Coach, it's urgent. Will he score a touchdown?
Yeah.
That was easy. Still got it.
You just told him.
You make the call on Underdog.
Formula One returns to the USA. Championship. We've got one hell of a race here in Texas. If I fall.
We're back on Get Up. You know, you guys are big, rough, tough football players, but how would you have handled this NLCS snake in the Dodgers dugout? Nope. Snake.
I love snakes. Yeah.
No thanks.
My roommate in college had a snake, and it broke out of its little snake thing, and it slept next to my bed for like a week. I didn't know it was there.
Nope.
He was sizing you up, bro. He was about to be lunch. He was about to be lunch, bro.
Oh, God.
New dugout.
Shout out to E.J. Henderson.
Yeah. You know, there's a song, Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word. Nick Sirianni managed to say it yesterday. You'll get to make up your own mind how he did it. Plus, who's hungry, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Thank 'em.
Let's go.
Serving up pancakes. They are on the way. We're serving them up hot on a morning where we all could use some carbs. It's Get Up.
Soft drinks are just $1 at Wendy's. Any size, anytime. 3 p.m. Fanta, 10 p.m. Sprite, 7:46 a.m. Coke. Yeah, you're built different. Dollar soft drinks any size? Gotta be Wendy's.
It was love at first sight for him, but I definitely said I love you first.
We call each other love. Amor.
When you know, you know. The Vera Wang Love Collection, exclusively at sales, the Diamond Store.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. But the money I saved, thought I'd get a wax figure myself. Oh, right in the temporal lobe. Beat it, punks! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's.
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
It matters where you stay. Conrad Hotels and Resorts. Hilton for the stay.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use for a future pizza emergency. So you'll have an emergency pizza. A free pizza when you need it most.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
This is more than a machine. This is a pulse-pounding, adrenaline-pumping, motorized multi-tool. A moving mountains with a smile on your face, do it all on wheels. It's a pusher, a digger, a trencher, a driller, and a thriller. A do more, achieve more legend. And getting the job done has never been more of a rush. This is more than a machine. It's your game changer. To build the world you want to go big in. Bobcat, one tough animal.
Streaming live Saturday. It's a Disney Plus celebration.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Music's highest honor goes to Cher, Mary J. Blige, Ozzy Osbourne, Dave Matthews Band, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, Jimmy Buffett, Dionne Warwick, A Tribe Called Quest, and Foreigner. Plus, performances by Dua Lipa, Kelly Clarkson, Jelly Roll, and more.
Outrageous!
The 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Streaming live Saturday on Disney Plus.
Trying on glasses using Warby Parker's virtual try-on is so lifelike, so realistic, that you might not even be able to tell what's real from what's virtual. Yep, it's that good. Virtually try on hundreds of styles at warbyparker.com.
I just found out I've been paying for 27 subscriptions. Yeah. It's like finding out you had 27 kids you didn't know about. Rocket Money, yes, it was Rocket Money. You had 2 Netflix accounts. I had 2 Fubo accounts. How much money did it save you? $700. I guess if you guys want to save some money, download Rocket Money. It probably will cover the drinks.
We can just have someone on Fiverr do it. It's no big deal.
Hiring freelancers just for small tasks is like hiring Martha Stewart as an...
Here's your coffee.
Oh, best intern ever.
Sometimes great talent is right under your nose.
What's your name again?
We've all seen over the years the Hail Mary. Here we go. Into the end zone. Touchdown Jets. And just like that, it's a 3-point game. Down by 3 starting at their 30. But a chance to rescue this night. Airs it out. And it is picked. Bills need a first down. Here's Allen. He's got it. First down, Buffalo.
Found a way to win. It was a team victory. We'll take them out, we get them, and 4-2.
The Bills shuffle back to Buffalo with the AFC East firmly in hand. You see the numbers on last night. The ESPN analytics said if the Jets had won that game, they would have had a real chance of winning the division now. As you see, it seems very slim, but perhaps not as slim as our friend Chris Big Dog Canty believes. He was on the radio this morning. People are talking about the Jets making the playoffs. Listen to Chris.
Right now, sitting here today, I got more confidence that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to make the playoffs than the New York Jets. And we know how I feel about the Bengals. It's not going to happen for the Jets. With this core of players, with that defense being as talented as it is, if Aaron Rodgers can't come in and fix it, then we're never going to get to where we want to go. I understand why you want to have that hope. I'm here to tell you that that is false hope. Hope is a dangerous thing. Don't continue to get sucked in. Don't continue to believe. It's not going to happen for this Jets team.
Actually thought that was a pretty measured take.
Fantastic.
I think I agree with all of it.
Comparison.
Yeah.
If only the Jets were as good at football as Chris is at radio. Oh, Super Bowl champs on the way, because that boy been killing it.
The one thing he's right about, hope sucks. It's so it's like they tell you that it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. That's just something they tell you to make you feel better because your heart is broken. You know, it's like when they tell you it's good luck if it rains on your wedding day. It's not good luck if it rains on your wedding day. It's the very definition of bad luck if it rains on your wedding day. They just tell you that so you don't feel quite as bad holding an umbrella while you're saying I do on your wedding day. The point that I'm making is it was much more fun when we had no hope. Having the hope and it leads to having your heart broken. This is not fun. If you're wondering if I'm having fun right now, I'm not having fun.
I was not wondering.
No,
this is a therapy.
Exactly right. The good thing about can we get me something?
Let's go here.
I need, all right, come on. Let's move on to other teams because even I'm sick of talking about them. Let's play a Week 6 edition of Awesome, Awful, and Awkward. Neek, what was something awesome you saw this week?
Oh, Jaden Daniels is one of the best quarterbacks in football. If they don't have hope in Washington, they have something much better than hope. They have a quarterback for a long time to come, and even in a loss, this is one of the more sophisticated defenses that he was going to face. He didn't turn the ball over. He made good decisions. And this team, once they get built up around him, they'll be a serious threat to win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
In his rookie season.
He is.
In his rookie contract.
Every bit of awesome. Jeff, what was awful?
Ooh, Mike McCarthy getting no respect at home on his owner's 82nd birthday, and just Ben Johnson dispensing to the big man. How much fun was this? This was my favorite.
So disrespectful.
So disrespectful. He lateral to Panay. That should have been a touchdown. That was a trash call. Trash call. And he flea flickered to LaPorta.
Can you imagine how little respect you have for an opponent to practice 3 and 4 lineman plays all week? It's like, we don't respect you at all. We're just going to do whatever we want.
Love you.
Graz, what was the awkward moment?
Nick Sirianni here yelling at the fans after, admittedly a tough loss. Oh, wait, he won? And this is how he was acting? That's awkward. Why are we yelling at the fans, man? Just take your win and go act like a professional. What are you doing?
Yes, he was yelling at them. He finds it unproductive when the fans boo. This, of course, is a very productive thing for a coach to be doing, is going over there and engaging with them. Well, anyway, afterwards or yesterday, he went out and apologized yesterday. Here's what he said.
I was trying to bring energy yesterday, enthusiasm yesterday. And I'm sorry and disappointed on how my energy was directed at the end of the game. My energy should be all in on coaching, motivating, right, and celebrating with our guys. And I got to have better wisdom and discernment of when to use that energy.
Yeah, he's on solid ground there.
Hold on. I'm gonna defend him a little bit.
Please.
What else is his job? We have
That's the defense?
Hold on a second. Let me finish.
Okay.
Roseman brings in the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator.
Right.
They basically have all he can do is get people excited. And so the players around him seem to enjoy him going back and forth. I mean, I'm grasping at straws. But I like it. I mean,
They told him a little bit. They told him, don't talk to the quarterback. Leave the quarterback alone. Yeah, I get it. What is painful about the apology, and generally, if you were wrong, I think people should apologize. But for Nick Sirianni, it feels like we're watching him slowly bleed credibility week after week after week. And it's a painful thing to watch, and having him look like not even fully contrite, but look like someone chastised him in the back room and he went out there and repeated. You could tell that whoever talked to him said the word energy a lot.
Yeah.
They told him, direct your energy in the right place, and it just was uncomfortable to see him. It just feels like they're losing faith.
Would that person be Lori, who brings him in the office and here's your apology? Say it like that. Say it just like this.
Probably.
The answer to the question of what his job is he's the public face of the organization. Right. Yeah. Nobody talks to the media or stands out in front and represents the organization more often during the season than the head coach does. And what he projects is on behalf of the organization. So if he's yelling at fans and he's snapping back at questions in a press conference with his kids all around, I mean, like, you're not acting like a professional. You're not even really acting like a grown-up. And I think that is his job, is to be the grown-up in the room. And right now, it's just not going great.
Say, Jeff, I think perhaps the best way we can sum up the problem is that your defense of him was to say, well, what else should he be doing? He doesn't have anything better or more important or productive to do than chirping at fans.
Yeah.
You know, than a bunch of people who've been sitting there drinking since 8 o'clock in the morning who are giving him a hard time about the game that they just won.
You're just mad at the Jets. You're redirecting anger at the wrong person.
No, but the one thing, here's what I will say about that, all kidding aside, is that you're an expert in football. You played it, and you know more about it than I'll ever know. You're an expert in football. I'm an expert in being a fan. Yeah. That's the only thing I really know. And I'm telling you what, the one thing you can't do, the fans are the people you work for.
Yes.
And Nick Sirianni and many others don't seem to get that. And I forget who said it yesterday. I think it was Dan Orlovsky who said, Nick Sirianni, everything that he emits is, I'm better than you.
Right.
And that is the reason the fans can't stand him. The reason that he will not win them back. Look, that town, they'll love you if you're tough.
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan, do you know how many playoff games Buddy Ryan won as the coach of the Eagles? The answer is 0.
Wow.
And he remains beloved in that city because he had attitude and he was a fighter and all this, and he wasn't fighting with the wrong people. Don't pick fights with your own fans. That is the absolute last thing any coach should ever do.
He has fought with his offensive coordinator.
That was bad too. That was bad too.
Buddy Ryan.
So anyway, the name you want to hear. Oh,
he has nothing to hang his hat on, and I think that the yelling at the fans and all the other foolish antics would be kind of hand waved away if we thought of him as an excellent motivator. It's hard to imagine Dan Campbell doing something like this, but if Dan Campbell does that, we're like, hey, but Dan Campbell does this. And the same thing for like Kyle Shanahan or Stefanski. If you have something that we say is super valuable and you're super good at, then you can do weird stuff. But the thing is, the thing that we associate with him now is the weird stuff. Because he doesn't have good stuff, so it's like him yelling, him talking trash in the middle of the Super Bowl, and the quarterback kind of telling him to relax.
Right.
Him yelling at fans as he goes through the tunnel. Him yelling at his own fans. Those are the things that stand out in our mind. It's not him making some great coaching decision and then acting like a jerk to your fans.
The reason that we never have talked about any of those other people doing that is because they would never do it in the first place. The one voice you want to hear from on this, though, of course, belongs to Jason Kelce, who now, of course, belongs to us at ESPN. So on Monday Countdown last night, here's what he had to say about the way his old coach handled the situation.
Obviously, he knows that was not the right way to handle that situation. You just saw it there, and everybody knows that was inappropriate. But this is a guy that knows that his energy is going to feed the football team. That energy, even though it comes out in the wrong way sometimes, like it did at the end of that game, if that is going to get the best out of him, is that emotional energy that he can then infuse into other people, I'm all for it. Not doing that at the end of games and talking to the fans, but taking it out on the field, doing it with your players.
Am I the only one who thinks, and I'm not even saying this kiddingly, and I love that Jason Kelce works for us, that they would be way better off if he was their coach? Like, teams have brought in, you went back and just coached without all the experience and all that kind of stuff. I think he has 1,000 times more credibility inside and outside the locker room. If other people are doing all of the, if someone else is handling the offense and someone else is handling the defense, and you're telling me the only job he has is motivating the team and having his finger on the pulse of everything, am I the only person who thinks Jason Kelce would do that way better than it's being done right now?
Well, he would be doing it better. It's the staff that's going to be the issue. From what he's saying about Sirianni, you can tell he's That's his guy, right? And so he's coming to bat for him. At the end of the day, Sirianni's doing more harm for himself than he's helping. Like this is just going to get ugly at the end.
Yeah, if motivating is the job, I think the way that Nick Sirianni has been doing it, the problem is you have to have some level of credibility to go along with it.
Yeah.
You can be the best motivational speaker, you can be a tremendous orator and writer, but if you don't have the credibility to go along with it, and that's what it feels like Sirianni is losing. I'm not in that locker room, but it doesn't feel like anyone looks at him as an expert or looks at him and trusts that he's been able to do something or he can bring something. So then all the rah-rah sounds different when it comes from somebody deep on the bench than when it comes from a Hall of Famer. And he doesn't give off the energy that I think secures the credibility to make his rah-rah work.
All right. We'll leave that there for the moment. There's obviously going to be much more as that continues to play out. But in that same division, one thing the Eagles can say is at least we're not this. Does the D in Big D stand for done? Wait till you hear what's about to happen to the Cowboys. Spoiler alert, it ain't good. We'll get to that, but first, Jeff's got a little appetizer for us this morning.
And we're giving a little raclette to my man Tony Pollard with the Tennessee Titans. I want you to watch him get there and meet up top. When you put a man's feet above his head and he's in there, that is a big-time block. That's a for sure sack. Good blitz, but a great blitz pickup. Let me tell you, that's some courage for Pollard to do that. We'll give him a little crate because it's little man on little man crime. Let me tell you, come back for pancakes because we got a full-on D-cleaner and somebody received it. Come back and see us.
Meet Franklin in the hole.
The thing about favorites is they're only your favorite until a new favorite tells your old favorite to beat it.
Introducing the all-new Sonic Smasher. So good, it's about to be your next new favorite.
Yo, I'm not a big fan of change, but I'm willing to try it. I gotta tell people about this.